Hello friends, welcome to the world of stories and why we tell them from Kulture Katha. The Mahabharata is the world's largest treasure house of stories, particularly of miraculous births. No other world literature comes close. Most of the key characters in the epic have a strange birth story to tell. Be it Draupadi and Drishtadyumna, who rose from the fire, or Drona, who was born from a cup, Satyavati, who was found inside a fish, or a relatively lesser known character such as Jarasandha, who was born in two halves. All of them had miraculous births. There's even a story about two women coming together to have children, and a king giving birth to a son from his right thigh. Not to forget, of course, Vyasa, the composer of the epic, who it is said was conceived, born, and grew up to become an adult on the same day he was born. The list of such miraculous births mentioned in the epic is long, and the stories are amazing. However, these ideas are not unique to India or the epic alone. They are quite common across world cultures. The most famous story, of course, being that of Jesus Christ, whose birth is popularly referred to as the Immaculate Conception. The birth of Christ happens without the sexual involvement of the male or the female, as Christianity considers sexual intercourse of humans the original sin. So Mary only carries and delivers the child given to her by the Holy Spirit. This is nothing but parthenogenesis. The idea we've already seen in my previous video on the birth of the Pandavas. In Judaism, the religion of the Jews, Isaac, a key character from the Old Testament, is also conceived through parthenogenesis. Similarly, in Buddhist mythology, it is said that Buddha's mother Maya Devi dreamed that a six-tusked elephant entered her body from her right side. That is how Buddha was conceived. The legendary Chinese king called the Yellow Emperor was conceived when his mother was aroused by watching a lightning strike. Yet another great Chinese philosopher, Lao Tse, is believed to have been conceived when his mother saw a falling star. Such stories are not just limited to Buddhist and Christian lore. Miraculous births are very common in Greek, Egyptian, Aztec, and Native American mythologies too. When we take a closer look at these stories, we find that in some stories, the father's role in conception is done away with, while in some others, the mother's role is eliminated. In Indian stories, we find that the father's role is primary and prominent. He provides the seed necessary for genesis. The mother's role as a carrier of the seed and the deliverer of the child is substitutable. So the womb often takes a secondary place, and it can be any object that resembles it, such as a pot or a leaf cup or even some animals. In the Mahabharata, we come across several characters who are born outside a woman's womb. These persons are referred to as Ayonija. Drona, for example. He was conceived from the semen of sage Bhargava, but was carried in a cup called a drona that was used in ritual sacrifices or yajnas. Drona was Ayonija as he was born outside a woman's womb. In our epics and the Puranas, this epithet of Ayonija is frequently used to refer to great sages and holy men who appear on the earth bypassing the normal birth process of humans. So, what was the idea behind these supernatural birth stories? Well, one of the key reasons behind these stories was to elevate the status of the person concerned, from that of an ordinary human to an extraordinary being, or even a god at times. This technique was also interestingly used to elevate the social status or varna of a person. Take the story of Queen Satyavati, who was actually a fisherwoman named Matsyagandha before she married King Shantanu. We find a story in the epic where Satyavati is shown to be born from the semen of King Vasu Uparichara that was swallowed by a fish. So in her backstory, she is shown to have a royal connection. Maybe the composer thought it fit to elevate the status of her birth from that of a mere fisherwoman by adding a royal connection after she married Shantanu. But in my opinion, a truly compelling reason to tell these tales was to create a fantastic setting for a story of epic proportions. One can even say that the Mahabharata works as a Mahakavya or a great epic because all its key characters are larger than life figures, having either a fantastic birth or divine parentage. Well, extraordinary stories do require extraordinary protagonists, don't you agree? Think about it this way. Draupadi gets her fiery and feisty nature probably because she rose from the fire. Seriously, do you think we would have liked her any other way? Friends, stay with me on this epic journey as we explore how the ideas of Niyoga and Parthenogenesis from the epic has inspired popular culture including cinema and literature. Till then, it's ta-da, bye-bye, take care.